I found my dead dad's hidden Bitcoin wallet. Then I lost $350,000 in 45 minutes. I'm literally shaking in my car right now. I'm outside my childhood home. My dad died last Tuesday from a heart attack. He was 62. He was a blue-collar guy. He barely used a smartphone, or so we thought. While clearing out his workshop, my mom found something. She's 58. She handed me a dusty Ledger Nano as it was taped behind a tool cabinet. She asked, "Is this a USB drive with family photos?" I took it home. I guessed the pin on the second try. It was my birthday, naturally. The balance loaded. 42 Bitcoin, roughly $2.8 million. My mom is terrified right now. Dad left no life insurance, just a mountain of mortgage debt. She thinks she's losing the house next month, but that's not even the worst part. Instead of telling her she was a millionaire, greed took over. I thought, if I leverage a small chunk of this, I can pay off her mortgage and keep the bulk of the Bitcoin. I moved 5 Bitcoin to an exchange yesterday. I went all in on 0 DTE SPY puts. I was convinced the CPI data would tank the market, but the market went up. The green candles were relentless. I watched $350,000 evaporate in 45 minutes, money that could have paid off her entire house. I stared at the screen until the market closed at 0. I just walked into the kitchen to get water. Mom is sobbing over a stack of final notice utility bills. She looked at me with red eyes and said, "I don't know how I'm going to survive, honey. I might have to sell your father's truck just to pay for the funeral." I still have 37 Bitcoin left. That's about $2.4 million. The moral dilemma is making me nauseous. I have 2 options. Option A, I tell her right now. I save her financial life instantly. But I have to explain that I gambled away $350,000 of her inheritance. She's conservative with money. She will look at me like a criminal. She will never trust me again. Option B, I have 37 Bitcoin left. NVDA earnings are coming up. If I YOLO another 5 Bitcoin on calls, I could make back the loss. I could cash out and hand her the full amount like the hero son. She'd never know I almost ruined us. My finger is hovering over the deposit button. Am I a monster, or just a trader in a drawdown?
What would you do in this situation? Let me know in the comments.
My sister tried to force me to buy her a $4,000 wedding dress. Then she started screaming on the floor. And now my entire family has blocked me. I'm a 26-year-old woman. And this is what happened. I'm the saver in my family. My sister, Bella, is the spender. While I drove a 2012 Civic and meal prep to save $45,000 for a house, Bella leased a BMW. She maxed out her cards on trips to Chalum. She just got engaged to a guy who is equally broke, but she wants an Instagram royal wedding. Last week, my parents called an emergency family meeting. They dropped a bomb. They can't afford the wedding Bella wants. They know I have the house money. My dad looked me in the eye and said, "We need you to loan Bella $20,000. It's a loan. They'll pay me back when her fiancé gets his bonus." Spoiler alert, the fiancé works part-time. I said absolutely not. They called me selfish. They said I was hoarding wealth, and that family helps family. I stood my ground, or so I thought. Yesterday, I agreed to go dress shopping just to keep the peace. Big mistake. Bella found the one. It was a Galia Lahav gown, costing $4,200 before alterations. She was crying. My mom was crying. It was emotional. The stylist brought the card reader over. Bella didn't even reach for her purse. She pointed at me and said, "My maid of honor is handling it. It's her gift to me since she couldn't contribute to the venue." My blood ran cold. I never agreed to this. The stylist looked at me. Card reader extended. Bella gave me this smug, challenging look, the kind that said, "You won't embarrass me in public." I didn't just say no. I looked at the stylist and said loudly, "I am not paying for this. I actually need to go." I turned to leave. Bella tried to grab my arm, realized I was serious, and literally fell to her knees sobbing. She was screaming that I was ruining her moment, and that I was a jealous brat. I walked to my car and drove off. Now my aunts are texting me saying I should have just swiped the card and dealt with it privately later. My mom says I'm disinvited unless I apologize and pay for the dress. So, am I the a-hole?
Did I overreact, or is my family being completely unreasonable? Let me know what you think.
My husband says I ruined our lives, but he's the one who gambled away our house deposit. My 32-year-old husband won't even look at me. It's been 3 days. This morning he finally spoke. He said my poverty mindset will keep us working 9 to 5 forever. I'm a 29-year-old woman. Am I the villain here? We've been saving for a house for 4 years. Every bonus, every tax return, every skipped vacation went into a high-yield savings account. We finally hit $45,000 last month. It was everything we had. 2 weeks ago, I checked the interest. The balance was zero. I nearly fainted. I confronted him, and he admitted it. He moved it all into a brokerage account. A YOLO play on some tech options he read about online. He didn't ask me, he just did it. I had a full meltdown. I told him to liquidate it immediately, or I was filing for divorce. He begged me to wait. He said, "Diamond hands, baby, trust the process." I didn't care. I stood over his shoulder while he sold everything. We lost about $1,500 because of the spread, but we got most of our deposit back. Here's where it gets really sick. The next morning, the earnings report came out. The stock didn't just go up. It went vertical. If he had held those options for just 12 more hours, our $45,000 would have been worth roughly $1.2 million. He has the charts open constantly. He does the math out loud while I'm cooking dinner. Minus taxes, we'd have $800,000 cash right now. We could have bought the house outright. We could have quit our jobs. Last night, he started crying. He said, "You have paper hands, Sarah. You panicked and you cost us a legacy." I feel sick. I know he gambled our safety. But I also know that my fear cost us a life-changing fortune. I feel guilty for being responsible, which sounds insane. He says he can't forgive me yet. Am I wrong for forcing the sale?
Did I overreact, or is he being completely unreasonable? Let me know what you think.
You won't believe what happened on Reddit today. I haven't slept in 24 hours because I'm sitting on a grenade that's about to blow up my entire life. A 24-year-old woman works as a junior analyst at a mid-sized logistics firm. I keep my head down, drive a Honda Civic, and rent a crappy apartment. What nobody knows, not HR, not my coworkers, and definitely not my boyfriend Ryan, 29-year-old man, is that the CEO is my father. I used my mother's maiden name to get hired because I wanted to prove I wasn't just a Nepo baby. I wanted to climb the ladder on merit. Then I met Ryan. He's my manager, and we've been secretly dating for 6 months. It started with late nights at the office and escalated to sneaking into the supply closet. It was thrilling. Ryan is brilliant but arrogant. He constantly complains about upper management incompetence and calls the CEO, my dad, a senile dinosaur who is ruining the industry. I usually just nod and sip my wine, biting my tongue. Last night, things went from awkward to illegal. We were at his place, and after 3 tequilas, Ryan got this manic look in his eye. He whispered, "Babe, I'm finally doing it. I'm going to topple the empire." He opened his laptop and showed me a folder labeled Exodus. He hasn't just been complaining, he's been siphoning data. He has secured verbal agreements from our top 3 clients, accounts worth about $4.2 million annually, to follow him to his new startup next month. He has the proprietary pricing algorithms. He has everything. Then he grabbed my hand and said, "I need you to be my inside man for one last thing. I need the master vendor list from the secure drive on Monday. Then we leave this sinking ship together." Here is where I feel like I'm going to throw up. Ryan is coming to Sunday dinner tomorrow to finally meet my parents. He thinks my dad manages a hardware store in the suburbs. He has absolutely no idea he is about to shake hands with the man he is actively stealing $4 million from. If I tell my dad, Ryan goes to jail. If I don't, my family's legacy is ruined. Part of me wants to see the look on his face when my dad opens the door, but I'm terrified.
What do you think? Let me know in the comments.